Um, Leo, are you kind of making sure that nobody can ask you if you need to shoot more?
Yeah, I mean, coaches made sure to tell me that I need to stay aggressive. So
Just how on a night when like maybe Sabrina's struggling, for you to be as efficient as you were and kind of help with Brianna lead that third quarter surge that we saw. I mean, how good does your shot feel? How good is the past two games felt for you?
yeah, I think I mean it helps when it goes in, and I have the confidence to shoot another one. But I think what really made us good in that third quarter is Stewie bringing up the ball, being the point guard, and having her just initiating the action and making really smart decisions.
To follow up on that, Sandy, I'm just curious what you think was so successful about that third quarter lineup with Stewie at the one, Marine, Leo, KB, and Izzy there that really got you guys back into it.
Yeah, we had searching for what's going to work. And Stewie is something we've spoken about. I've used it and we want to continue to grow on it. And Stewie at the one, with the lineup that we had, I thought it was very versatile, but it showed them a different look. Now you've got, our four-man bringing the ball up and how you're going to defend that. And I thought we executed well and we defended well and we went bigger. And size against this team is good. We love size.
And Izzy, for you, I'm just curious, what was the key to really going up against their two big post players and staying with it so that what happened last time didn't happen again?
We just knew how many points in the paint they scored against us the last game. It was like 62. So we know they're going to get their touches and their looks, but we just have to make it as difficult as we can. So when we did our review, we talked about meeting them early and just being physical, because it makes that much of a difference when they do catch the ball. So we just wanted to have a more aggressive mindset on the bigs.
Hey, Leo, in that second half, you guys held them to just 30 points total on 9 of 30 shooting and had, I think it was 10 turnovers for 12 points. How were you able to flip that switch at half, and how did that defense, especially in those passing lanes, go to another level?
Yeah, we kind of not switched our mindset, but we Olaf made sure he reminded us at halftime that we need to put a lot of pressure on the ball. So that's what we did. I mean, everybody who came in, everybody who was on the court was pressuring a lot, and it makes the job a bit easier for the post players inside. So I think it was just an overall really good effort from all the team.
Sandy, another really great game from KB, especially in that first half of that fourth quarter. We've talked so much about her three-point efficiency, but what do you see from her as a connector and a decision maker within this offense?
Yeah, you see, she's really comfortable, isn't she? I think that's the biggest thing there. We, all our teammates trust her, the coaching staff trust her to go out there and make plays at both ends of the floor. And as you saw in that comeback, we had her on Canada. As I said, big guard, she can defend anyone. She puts her mind to it. So she's been great, like shooting the threes, facilitating, getting downhill. Just shows us different looks. And I thought that, the group that we went with there showed a lot of chemistry for a starting lineup, that lineup that we haven't really played that much.
Hello, all. Congrats on the win. My question will be for Coach. Over the last 2 seasons, this team now has won 3 games where their opponent has had at least 16 more free throw attempts than them. The rest of the league has 4 combined. So what does a stat like that mean to you? And what does it say about the grit and determination of this team, especially when it comes to the identity and culture you want to establish?
Yeah, look, I said I wasn't happy with the first half at all. We had 4 days off and we didn't bring any kind of grit or energy. So it was like a reset in the second half, and, we went with what worked. The post plays, we talked about post defense all week, and then we weren't putting pressure on the outside, and then when we all wanted to trap and not trap, when we have to have discipline with executing the scout to the best of our ability, but we're relentless. This is a group that stays together. We're going to weather the storm. I don't get too high or too low. It's more like at halftime I said, we're winning this game, but we know what we can control. So just go out and do that. And, we started, defense picked up, offense got easier.
Hi, one question for Coach, one question for Leo. Coach, today Niara had her first 3 since 2023, and it also had a career high.
Even I was like, I don't know what I did. Yes, that's awesome.
She also had a career high in blocks with 4. How crucial was her effort on both ends of the floor?
Was big time. It was great. Obviously, Izzy and Niara obviously subbing each other out. playing as hard as they can. Nyara really came good to us near the end. I mean, that big three, that was a momentum changer. Her defense, the physicality that she played with, the blocks that she had, were at crucial moments, but also the rebounding, her ability to get rebounds when we needed and secure them. Really happy for her. So we got to keep building that chemistry. We believe in her as we do Izzy, and their contribution to the team has been really good.
And then the question for Leo. Leo, normally you're the one that's knocking down all the triples. So to kind of see Niara get that first one of the season, how was that, just knowing what you guys been through together?
I told her from minute one that she needs to shoot that thing because they're really sinking off of her, and sometimes it makes it harder if you don't shoot it. So just for her to have the confidence to finally let it fly, super proud of her, and I was pumped. And also all of her defensive effort, just overall really proud of her.
Hey everyone, congrats on the win. Coach, you always talk about building experiences throughout games, especially not pretty ones like today. Are these wins the ones that are kind of more important when you look towards, games more later down the line?
100%. We played it was a tale of two halves. One was not our identity. The second one was our identity. And knowing that we talk about depth. Now, sometimes some players are going to play more in games depending on your opponent and what you need. So we went with what worked, and we have the depth to lean into our bench. I think it was just Stewie and Leo on at that time with our bench. And that makes, you see the vision with how you want to play. So these are great wins for us that we can build on.
Hey everyone, hope all is well. Great win today. Coach, I just wanted to speak about your bigs between KB, Leo, and Brianna Stewart. 12 assists with them each having 4 assists each. Just speak about what it's like to have those kind of bigs in this 5-out offense. And I know Izzy only had 1 assist, but she's also another big that can get it going, facilitate as well.
Yep.
And my last one, both for Izzy and you as well. In that third quarter, it kind of seemed like things kind of took a turning point when Tosh got that technical foul. I know she didn't have a great game going, but her intensity just stands out. Can you just speak about that a little bit, how the game just kind of changed a little bit after that?
Yeah, look, I think sometimes you get a technical foul, and we're all mad at what happened two times in a row, and not getting it, and they were getting the calls down the other end. That provide energy for your teammates out there. So, being intentional with that's always good. But Tash is always going to play with passion, whether she's on the floor or off, and that's why she's so important to what we want to do. But going back to the assists, it's nice to have 24 assists. We haven't had as many recently, and that shows selfless basketball, and that's what we're built around. Just good to great. We talk about that all the time, and just making sure the shot quality is where it wants to be, and trusting your teammates. And we made shots. We didn't make shots. We still only shot 38%. So imagine if we had made a few more that were assisted. So there are areas we know we can work on. But when your post players are, creating for others, that's pretty special.
Sandy, at what point when you're watching Leo shoot, are you like, okay, she's taking it to another level? And how does her shot hunting help, a player like Stewie and others find their rhythm as well?
Yeah, if you haven't worked that out yet, love everything about Leo and what she brings to this team. She's the ultimate professional, how she comes ready to play and selfless. We're encouraging her to shoot, obviously, and put her in the actions there because she's the most pure shooter I've ever seen. And with her size at 6'4", her ability, to come off a screen and just get balance and shoot it, it's beautiful. But we posted her up a few times and tried to get it downhill a few times. She made some really good decisions. But, it starts, she takes pride in defense, loves defense. So we love players like that. But we're going to continue to grow on that offensive side.
Sandy, I just wanted to follow up on Marine's minutes. I guess, what did you see sort of on both ends from her when it came to ball pressure and what she was able to do offensively?
Look, I think Marine, it would have been hard to play Marine without one of the other smalls against this team. But when we had Stewie at the one, that was a great combination to play her. So I think it was more who was surrounding her. She could go out. She played really well. And that's what we need, confidence there. So we want to get her into the action. I thought Stewie at the one kind of helped her. And so, that's good. And that's why I say leaning into the bench when you can see 3 of the players, it's had some really good and impactful minutes for us. That's important as we move forward.
Hey, Izzy. You had a strong 2-way stretch in that fourth quarter where you were able to put your shoulder down right into BG and take her right to the rim, and then the other way force the very rare 3-second call. Just what were you seeing, first of all, on the floor on that offensive drive, and then defensively, just kind of fighting and fighting to try to get that position?
Yeah, my mindset is just to always be aggressive, no matter what post I'm playing. And when it is a bigger post, I just use my speed to get downhill, and I don't think BG expected that. She even told me on the court. So I was glad I was able to do that. But just being aggressive, I'm more so proud of my defensive stops, though. Being able to be aggressive with the post and just make it hard for her to catch and do her moves, because we know how good she is. So I'm just trying to string together plays as much as I can and just get the momentum going with that.
Leo, I just have a follow-up. Why do you take so much pride on the defensive end? Because a lot of players they like to score because that's where everyone gets a lot of recognition for it. But what is it about defense that you really like? And how do you use your defensive intensity to kind of fuel some of that offense?
Honestly, I just have fun on defense. I'm just annoying my opponent. And then just for me, if you go into a game with an offensive mindset, you never know if your shot's gonna fall or not. You never know if you get the calls. And on defense, you really always know what you have to do, the aggression you play with, and the intensity, and that's just something you can control. And yeah, I just don't want to rely on the uncontrollables on offense.
Sandy, I don't mean to take advantage of this anymore. We've talked about it for years, but how big of a deal the building makes when you guys go on a run in the second half like that. And it felt, you could see the frustration a little bit, and the crowd kind of comes for a ride with you. Just how big is that impact? And Izzy, being here for your first season, just how much you feel that on the floor playing in front of this crowd and what that does for you guys?
Yeah, no place like home. Yeah, I know we have the loudest fans in the WNBA, and every team that comes here experiences this once we get going, and they give us energy as well too. So it was so loud in there. It's pretty special, how engaged they are, and obviously with the New York Liberty, and it certainly does help us. So it's nice to be on this side of it, not on the other side.
Agree with that. I always hated this crowd when I came here, but now being on this side, it really feeds us, and it gets us ready to play. And they love when we show that effort. So they stand up and they show up for us night in and night out. So for me, I'm always going to give my all for these Liberty fans, because they're just on a team like us. That's what it feels like. So I'm really appreciative for the sport and just how loud they are when they get here.
Thanks, everyone.